In a quiet neighborhood, where the paint on the houses had begun to fade and the air smelled of old memories, there was one house that everyone seemed to forget. Its walls were cracked, its gate half broken, and its windows stared blankly at the street like tired eyes. But in front of that house sat a dog. Day after day, through sun, rain, and storm, he waited. He didn't bark, he didn't roam, he simply stayed, guarding a door that never opened. To strangers, he was just another stray. But to those who watched closely, there was something in his eyes, something that spoke of a promise he could never forget. Every morning, he stretched his tired legs, shook off the dust, and sat facing the door. Every night, he curled beside it, resting his head on the cold cement, as if listening for footsteps that would never come. Sometimes, the wind would carry the sound of children laughing or the smell of cooking from nearby homes, and his ears would perk up. Maybe, just maybe, today they would come back. But no one ever did. He was waiting for the family who once loved him, the only home he ever knew. At first, people thought he was lost. A few kind souls tried to help, leaving scraps of food or bowls of water near the gate. But he never moved far. He ate quietly, tail wagging faintly in gratitude, and returned to his post like a soldier guarding his memory. Some children would whisper, "He's waiting for someone," and they were right. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and the dog remained. Then, one afternoon, a little girl named Mia appeared. She was small, with bright eyes and a backpack bigger than her shoulders. She sat beside him after school every day, reading out loud from her books, fairy tales, poems, even her homework. He would listen, head tilted slightly, tail thumping softly on the ground. To her, he was a friend. To him, maybe she was the first warmth he'd felt in years. And every evening, when Mia waved goodbye and walked away, he stayed behind, still waiting for the ones who left him. Animal lovers soon heard of the loyal dog who refused to leave his doorstep. One day, a rescue team came. They lifted him gently, wrapped him in a blanket, and carried him away to a shelter. But that very night, he escaped. He ran through the streets, across alleys and puddles, guided by nothing but memory. And by morning, there he was again, at the same door, lying in the same spot, breathing softly as if nothing had changed. No matter how many times he was moved, his heart always found its way back home. When winter came, the nights grew cruel. The wind howled through the cracks of the old house. Snow gathered on his fur as he curled into a small ball, trembling against the cold ground. People wondered how he survived, but perhaps it was not food or warmth that kept him alive. It was hope. Hope that one day that door would open again. Seeing his unbreakable spirit, a group of rescuers built him a small shelter near the house. They gave him a name, Buddy. They brought blankets, food, and clean water. Buddy accepted their kindness, but never forgot his mission. Even from the tiny wooden shelter, his eyes never left that old door. He was waiting, always waiting. One of the rescuers took a picture of Buddy, sitting faithfully in front of the house, snow falling around him. They posted it online with a caption that read, "This dog has been waiting here for almost 1,000 days." The photo spread like wildfire. Thousands of people around the world were moved by his loyalty. Some sent donations, others sent prayers. And somewhere, far away, one family saw that post and fell silent. It was them. The family that had lived in that house years ago. They had moved away suddenly after hard times, leaving behind everything they couldn't carry, including, unknowingly, Buddy. The father's voice cracked. "That's him," he whispered. "That's our Buddy." They thought he was gone forever, but Buddy never gave up on them, not for one day. They packed their car with blankets, toys, and his old collar. The children couldn't stop crying. After 3 long years, they were finally going home, to find the one who had never stopped waiting. The road was long, but hope made it short. Every mile felt like a heartbeat, bringing them closer to the past they left behind. When the car stopped, Buddy lifted his head. The sound of the engine, the scent in the air. It felt familiar. He stood up slowly, as if afraid to believe. Then he heard it, a voice, trembling but full of love. "Buddy." In that instant, time stopped. Buddy's tail began to move, then faster and faster, until he ran with all his strength. He jumped into their arms, crying, barking, licking faces, unable to contain years of silent love. The family held him tight, sobbing and laughing all at once. And Buddy finally stopped waiting. They took him home, not to the old house, but to a new one filled with light, laughter, and the smell of warm food. The first night, Buddy didn't sleep by the door. He slept beside their bed, his head resting on his owner's foot, the way he used to when he was a puppy. The 1,000 days of loneliness had ended, and all it took was love finding its way back. Buddy's story traveled across the world, touching millions of hearts. People called him the dog who waited 1,000 days. But maybe he wasn't just waiting for his family. Maybe he was waiting for the world to remember what loyalty really means. His story became a reminder that love never forgets. Even when time moves on, even when everything else fades, love stays. Today, Buddy is more than a rescue story. He's a symbol of faith, of patience, and of the bond between humans and animals. Every wag of his tail says, "I forgive." Every nap by the fire says, "I'm home." And every look in his eyes says, "Thank you for coming back." They say dogs don't understand time, but Buddy understood love. He proved that loyalty can outlive years, and hope can survive heartbreak. Somewhere right now, another animal is waiting. Maybe outside a gate, maybe in a shelter, maybe just looking up at the road. If you ever meet one, don't walk away. Be the person they're waiting for.